Here we go with the AFC North. Now, you have the Pittsburgh Steelers. This division has a tough schedule. They face the NFC East this year. A lot of games against the AFC South collectively. Very tough schedule for all these teams. But Pittsburgh, they're still the class of the AFC North. There's no question about it. And Ben Roethlisberger, what a great season. 32 total touchdown passes. I don't think he will throw 32 this year. I believe they're going to run the ball more with rookie Rashard Mendenhall and, of course, fast Willie Parker. And I have to say, if Mendenhall can hold on to the ball, he can, he'll definitely get some burn, and he'll show his thunder to Willie Parker's lightning. That's for sure. Defensively, though, and Santonio Holmes, look out for him. He should break out and be a Pro Bowler this year. He's definitely one of the most talented receivers in the NFL. And yeah, defensively, the Steelers, they led the NFL last year in fewest total yards. But towards the end of the season, the secondary, though, definitely was not consistent enough, and especially they were burned in the playoffs by Jacksonville. But, Troy Polamalu, his health, it depends on his health. If he can stay healthy, then that unit should still be okay. And Deshae Townsend is definitely a top-notch cornerback for sure, but he has to be consistent. And then you have, also, you have the linebacker core very deep with veterans James Ferry and James Harrison, as well as young players like Lamar Woodley and Bruce Davis. I mean, they can provide a pass rush as well as a solid foundation stopping the run. And Casey Hampton, you can't forget about him, one of the top nose tackles in the NFL. So they're evolving offensively, the Steelers, and they have a solid defense, especially a defense with depth in the linebacker position, and they should win the AFC North. Now, Cleveland Browns, Derek Anderson has to play better than he did the second half of the season. He really came to earth, and he has to bring up and elevate his level. If not, Brady Quinn will be called upon. And Braylon, but his weapons, the weapons at the quarterback, whoever's quarterbacking for the Cleveland Browns has weapons. And Braylon Edwards, one of the top receivers in the game, and Kellen Winslow, one of the top tight ends in the game. Very explosive weapons. It should be more dangerous with the acquisition of Dante Stallworth. And the O-line showing improvement, especially first-round pick for Cleveland last year, their third pick overall, Joe Thomas. And defensively, they were 30th in the NFL in total defense, and the secondary, they must stop giving up big plays. I mean, Eric Wright, Sean Jones, they have to step up, that's for sure. And they gave up 230 yards in the air, 29 total touchdown passes overall. And but the linebacker core is strong with Cameron Wimbley, Andre Davis, DeQuell Jackson, who I'm going to talk about later, and the wise one, Willie McGinnis. Very good linebacking core. And the addition of Sean Rogers should help the inside linebackers like Andre Davis and DeQuell Jackson, should help them be able to really make plays. Sean Rogers will be able to take up a lot of space up there up front. And but the Browns, they will contend for the playoffs, but the problem is, as I said before, the defense, the secondary is still weak, and also too, the quarterback play is not going to be there to be high playoff quality level. So and also the tough schedule, so they won't make the playoffs. Cincinnati Bengals, they still have a lot of holes defensively, but they have young talent, good talent in corners, Leon Hall, Jonathan Joseph, as well as Keith Rivers. And Carson Palmer, he had over 4,000 yards, 26 touchdown passes. Definitely a subpar season for him, a great season for anyone else, but Palmer really has to step up. And the receiving core, if they can remain mentally and physically stable, Chad Ochocinco, that's actually his real name, ladies and gentlemen, Chad Ochocinco, with TJ Hushmanzada, Chris Henry, and Jerome Simpson, the rookie, if they can step up, they can be able to really make plays. And they cut Rudy Johnson earlier in, last week, actually, they cut Rudy Johnson. So Chris Perry is going to have to stay healthy, as well as Kenny Watson at the running back position. But they will not make the playoffs. The defense is still shaky. And Marvin Lewis, head coach Marvin Lewis, if he can prove me wrong and be able to show some major improvement, he'll be able to save his job. But the whole entire organization is in fault. And also, too, there's a lack of camaraderie. And the Baltimore Ravens, Joe Flacco, the rookie out of Delaware, I interviewed him on my show. He will be starting week 1, but he has not much support. I mean, Willis McGahee has been injured, and his work ethic has been questioned. Ray Rice is a rookie. He's going to be solid, but at the same time, he still has to learn some things about the NFL. It's a different animal. And then you have, Mark Clayton, who's who hasn't really shown up to be that speedster, a la Mark Clayton from back in the day in the 80s, and with the Miami Dolphins, and Derek Mason, who's getting older. But the defense is still strong. They're still sixth in the NFL total defense. Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Christmas McAllister, if they can stay healthy, it's very important for them to stay healthy. If they can, then they can definitely be able to make some waves and possibly pass the Cincinnati Bengals in the standings and be in third place in the AFC North.